Welcome to A Husband's Heart.
I can't wait till I get you on for good looking. Hey, you and I so hot, just like an oven. And I just had to touch it. It's so fine.
Welcome to A Husband's Heart Unpacked. I'm your boy T. Stin. I'm here with my lovely host and my wife, the beautiful Terry Stinson. How you doing, babe?
I'm good. How are you?
Hey, let's get into it. What's on your mind?
Okay, so here's the scenario. There's a woman. She's in her 60s. She's been married 3 times. The first time she was married, she was about 25, 27 years old. She's only married for a few years. The marriage ended in divorce. She says the reason it ended in divorce is because she was just too young and no one taught her how to be married. No one taught her about marriage. So that's why that marriage was unsuccessful. The second time that she got married, she was in the church. She was going to church and she said, you know what, I'm going to do it properly this time. First time it was someone I was super attracted to. The second time, I'm going to marry a good, solid church going man. Married a guy in the church and thought she was doing it right that way. That marriage ended in divorce. So the third time she met a guy, she went out on a date with him. She dated him a couple times, then came to find out that he was married. So she was like, well, I'm not going to date you because you're married. He ended up, not because of her, but ended up over time getting a divorce and then came back to her and pursued her again. This time she made him pursue her for several years. And then she married him. And then she discovered he was a narcissist. And then they got a divorce. So this woman is now in her 60s. She's been married 3 times and she's been divorced 3 times. And she's a really smart, articulate, beautiful, successful woman. And she says, I don't want people to think, like, it looks bad on paper, and I don't want people to think that I am the problem. But my question is, who cares what people think? Why don't we want to recognize that we have problems? Why don't we look at the body of our experiences and say, I'm not getting the results that I wanted. There may be a problem here. I think that it's problematic for us to take the position, I am not the problem, which makes you feel like there's nothing I need to change about myself. When if we're going to grow, we've got to constantly be willing to change ourselves and recognize in every situation, where were we the problem? Where did we fail ourselves to have this outcome? What do you think about that?
I think that's a healthy way, the way you just described. Yeah. If you have to ask or almost you try to ensure or convey to the public or to the listening audience that I'm not the problem, then you are definitely part of the problem. You may not be all of the problem, right?
And even more so than like the audience, like whoever you're an audience with, whether you're speaking with your homegirls or you're just, speaking to your people, like I think it's even more problematic when we tell ourselves this lie.
Yeah, I mean, you got to look at it this way. I mean, the example you gave me with this particular woman, and obviously she's a common denominator. I mean, I'm just looking at it from just a pragmatic standpoint. Even if the guys were who she said they were, right? Mm-hmm. She still has responsibility in letting those people in her life too early, maybe. Yeah, let's say if he had all these negative attributes she spoke of. But what's wrong with your analysis? You're picking.
Your picker's off.
Your picking is off, or you're allowing someone to come in too soon. Because if you recognize it after the marriage, how come you didn't recognize it before the marriage, right?
Right.
So you got to say to yourself, hey, did I allow myself enough time to get to know this person, right?
Mm-hmm.
So yeah.
Or did I ignore too many red flags?
Or did I ignore some red flags?
Mm-hmm.
But to stand back and say, look at them, that's why this didn't work. That says some more about you.
And then how come everybody gets to diagnose other people as narcissists?
I know, right?
Like who are we to say, well, he's a narcissist? Like, right. It's just such a blanket statement. Okay. And it seems like it's being thrown on a lot of people now to abdicate responsibility for our choices.
Yeah. Yeah, I mean, I'm with you on that. I mean, I'm only basing that on, the information you gave me because, she's right now batting, she's 0 for 3, right?
Right.
Now, some people have been married multiple times and But at least, like even one of the episodes I've spoken with many guests, guys who are on multiple marriage, but even my latest one, I can just think like they've learned and they made a commitment and they're able to back off and really go into it in a healthy, you know, I take it seriously. I'm committed to this. I get it.
Right.
Things happen.
And not that they're gonna go into their next relationship perfectly,
Right.
but if your relationship fails, you have to take accountability and own your
Right.
part in it,
Right.
and then make adjustments to yourself. Like you
Right.
have to say, okay, well, there's things I could have done better. There are things I could have done differently. There are things I shouldn't have done at all.
Right. Yeah, because I think a lot of people treat marriage almost like a girlfriend boyfriend. You have your checklist, and if someone crossed that line, like with marriage, you don't know everything about that person. But I think one of my guests, probably Moses, the last person I spoke with, I love something he said about, can you digest? And people have said it before, the negative or the thing that you don't like about that person, right?
Mhm.
If you can digest that, not that you accept bad behavior, but the thing that may even annoy you,
Mhm.
and you go, okay, that's something I can, if it's something I can, adjust or help adjust, fine. If
If it's
not,
something I can live with.
right, right.
Mhm.
So yeah, with her example, man, it just sounds like in that particular one you got about that particular lady, it's like, did she even give herself and the partner a chance to grow and learn each other? As soon as someone does something off your checklist, oh, this not gonna work.
Right.
Is that a healthy way?
And
Like,
maybe, yeah, right.
like, did they really do something out of the abnormal, or is this something you just didn't like, and now you're ready to move on because you've already set up these situations where if someone missed the mark, it's a problem, and now it's a problem in your head. Because we talk about this, I'm not gonna say a lot, but we've spoken about this over the years. How we know, we were married younger, particularly you got married while you're still in your 20s. That man, like we can imagine a lot of relationships that just didn't make it because they didn't endure.
Exactly.
And when I say endure, not trauma and abuse, but we just say just endure difficulty situation that people have literally given up because of their checklist.
Yeah.
My feelings hurt. I'm not used to this.
Yeah.
A woman never talked to me like this. A man never talked or treated me this way,
Right.
based on these ideals that we've already had set versus going through life, making adjustments, understanding I may not be used to that, but is that big enough to wipe this out?
And that's why I really think it's amazing when people get married younger, because then they grow together and they kind of help each other work out their rough spots. I feel like when people get married when they're older, sometimes they are set in their ways.
Well, they are.
They've established who they are and who they want to be and who they don't want to be, and they're more rigid.
And those rough spots are big spots or big acorns or bunions, and it's hard to shave those down because they've grown so big and enlarged over the years. Versus when you're young, and they perk up a little bit and you shave it down and you move. Versus it's hard to move on when those acorns have built up.
So what do you say to the person who it's just not their fault? It's just, the relationships that they were in, they just had bad people that they were in relationship with, and the relationships failed because they partnered with the wrong people. It's not their fault.
What do I say for those who are legitimate, have been with the
No,
people?
who make that proclamation.
What do you mean? What do I say to them?
What would you say to them? Like, I've had 3 marriages and they've all failed. They've each failed, and it's not my fault. I was married too young. I didn't have an example of a good marriage. I married the church guy, and he was he was too literal with the Bible. Then I married a narcissist. I just married all the wrong people.
You just share with
nothing
them.
wrong with me.
Yeah, well, I mean, all you can do is, first of all, me personally, if I dealt with someone like that, I already know that to me, I'll self-talk to myself, you may be the problem. Because if you're an individual, you're not to utter those words out, that I'm not the problem. You don't give yourself room to even be open-minded. that you
grow.
possibly could have some fault, maybe not the main fault. Like, and I would be scared for you to be with the next person because I don't even know you, and you're that bold to put that out to someone that don't even know you. I would be nervous for the next person.
And is there anyone that's blameless in any relationship? Whether it's, I didn't take care of myself and I put myself in this environment.
You know what? Could and has it? There's been some people who are blameless. It's been some.
Could you be blameless in 3 relationships?
Very difficult. Very difficult. And that's why when I gave you an example where if you're meeting horrible people, you still have to look at yourself. Where you meeting these horrible people? Where you are? What's your lifestyle? What's your, what are you doing? What are you engaging in? Right?
Yeah.
I can't get upset if I'm down at the pig slop.
Picking up pigs.
Wondering why they want to be sloppy, right?
Right. Wondering why every
you keep
time
going to the pigs trying to make it. Right.
Yeah.
What are we talking about here, right?
Yeah.
So, I mean, someone like that, you just show care and love and extend your wisdom or your knowledge or your experience. You say, hey, have you ever considered, if I were to speak with a lady like that, say, have you thought of this? Without attacking, without blame. Right. Sometimes you can pose things to people just to make them pause. You have to let the ones who the narcissists, the know-it-alls, let them speak. And then if they truly want help, they'll pause enough for you to hopefully put something out there, which chances are sometimes they hit them, but then they go right back to their old ways. You share information with careness. That's the one thing about life. Nobody cares what you can have the answer, but if it doesn't come in a caring package, they're not going to receive it. Great question, Ayana. Great situation. Yeah.
Well, thank you for tuning into A Husband's Heart Unpacked. We'll see you the next time. And don't forget, talk to him.
I'll listen. Your boy, T. Stin. See you on the next episode. Take care.